the cold, weak and weary, our group sought rest in a quiet clearing. Leaving behind revelation, carnage, and gore, and the obliteration of Daniel at the hands of Thamyor, our group heads south, discovered more snow. Cypher, the elf, was finally going home. But the route felt foreign. Something was wrong, stalked by shade and wind so strong. Running through night, devastation by sunrise. Before them lies a fight, a betrayal, a surprise. Will they make it? Will they know? Find out this episode on Sun and Snow.
Bars!
Rhyme.
The freshly named Little Rascals arrive on the outskirts of the halfway point. The wind that was chasing you has faded, leaving naught but your labored breathing to break the silence. As your heart rates stabilize and your breath is eventually recaptured, another single gust of air blows past you, this one from the direction of town. Its chill shakes you all to your bones. I want everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God.
5.
20.
16.
16. Wait, nat 20?
Yeah, nat 20.
Woohoo!
All of you, except for Nova, you shake a little bit, but you're able to kind of brush it aside. You two especially. Thamir, I think you have resistance against cold.
I believe so, yes.
And you are still riding high off of frickin' knowing that you're the king. You are too distracted to be cold.
This is very, accurate because I'm always cold. I have to have
And you are freezing to the point where you actually take 5 points of cold damage.
Damn.
You're having trouble actually closing and unclosing your hands.
Can't she cast something to make herself warm?
I mean,
I can destroy water, but I don't know how that goes.
Are we, like, at a camp area right now, or are we walking?
For that little bit of time that Thamir provided you with horses, you rode as far away from the combat that you guys had encountered the previous night as possible before those horses disappeared, and then you just ran with this wind on your tails the entire time.
Are we not in that intersection?
You guys are just on the outskirts of town. Right in front of you is the handful of trees. There's more of them as you get closer to town. You're maybe like a quarter of a mile from there. But having been forced to run through the entire night, everybody here is going to suffer 1 point of exhaustion. So that is going to be disadvantage on a shit ton of things.
What if I take an energy potion?
If you have an energy potion,
What if I snort some
probably
of
don't.
Yale cocaine?
if you have cocaine on you, I'll allow it.
What is cocaine?
You mean in the game, right?
Are we close to town? We could probably buy some.
Find a drug.
You guys are right in town, right against town.
What happens if I snort holy water?
Well, there was, the herb dealer?
No,
we saw earlier?
What do you call like medicine people back in the day?
Herbalist.
Herbalist? Is it herbalist?
It could be. Or clerics would be in this case.
Healers.
Can you make us drugs?
The apothecary?
1 point of exhaustion. All of you have disadvantage on your ability checks.
That's
Wait, so
bullshit.
But despite that, Matixia, despite the chill, despite your exhaustion, you find yourself distracted. Thinking about the same thing that's been on your mind for hours. Before you were awakened by Tazaruk, before the long run through the snow and darkness, you were in the midst of a nightmare. The slaughter at Morinar, the town crier later called it. But the events in your dream, like they were to the 8-year-old version of yourself at the time, were far from sensationalized journalism, far from a penny dreadful. It wasn't a story, it was your life. And the Matixia you are today was born inside that cupboard, a scared child having just enough view through a crack in the wood to witness her parents' deaths. You haven't thought about it for a while, at least not consciously, but the dream engenders in you an almost overwhelming melancholy. And noticing this on the outskirts of town as everyone is gathering their breath, Jeff looks over to you. Are you okay? You look like you just saw a ghost. I know we were just running for our lives and all, and I'm pretty scared myself, but you look pale.
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Okay. So are we going in? Are we going?
Yeah, let's move on.
yeah.
Kazaruk, what did you do back there? That fire that you... Did the rest of you see that?
I didn't see it.
When we were fighting that creature, you burst into
How do you know
flames.
that was me?
I could feel it off of you, I guess.
Might have just been like lightning. It tends to set things on fire.
Maybe.
Were you on fire?
I'm also,
Was,
I mean,
was Tazric on fire?
I am a gold dragon, so I have fire breath. You might have just not seen me breathe it out.
Roll for deception. Might be okay.
19.
Okay. You're right. I was pretty distracted and pretty scared, so.
What? That fire totally came out of you.
Yeah, I just said it was my fire breath. So, of course it came out of me.
Nice.
With that, you guys decide to press on into town. And as you enter town, you are greeted with a surprising silence. There are no smoldering ruins here, no dynamic wreckage to judge how long it's been since the devastation has come to pass. Instead, the entire village is coated in a thin sheet of ice, freezing it in both temperature and time. At the entrance, the pathway that leads into town, there is a dog, frozen mid-bark, standing upright at the village entrance, forever guarding it in vain. Next to it, icicles hang stiffly from the bottom of a cracked and sun-scorched board. Across its surface it reads, "Welcome to the Crossroads." The air is still, silent, eerie. Multiple roads run throughout town, and you can see most of it from the entrance that you guys are entering into, and they extend from in all directions. You know a lot. Roll me a history check. I'm trying to think of who else would have passed through this way. Nova, you can roll a history check as well.
14.
18.
Both of you know, going into this town, that it was once the beating heart of Mastire, this continent that you're on. And it pumped traders and travelers like lifeblood through the gravel and cobblestone veins of the land. But that heart is now still, frozen, dead. And as you're entering into town, the sun rises in the distance, but it's mostly held back by thick, dark clouds.
Can I do a perception check on see why it's dead?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check, since you're the one initiating this.
Investigation.
Can I roll one too?
Roll with advantage, because he's helping.
19, so
Cool.
20.
So with the two of you together looking out across this ghost town, you notice, in addition to this ice and snow ahead of you, a faint glimmer on the ground surface. And as you look a little bit closer and kind of approach, you realize that it's blood, crystallized and hardened, and it lays in various splatter patterns in every which direction. There's no bodies anywhere to be seen, but with that roll, you see drag marks leading in a ton of different directions.
I'm the one who sees this, no one else does?
You see it, we're going to say that Thamir does as well.
I'm staying quiet.
What?
Guys, there's some blood on the ground, and
Thank
it looks
you,
like there's
Elliot.
drag marks.
Thanks for the information.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't stay here very long.
Weren't we supposed to meet people here? Isn't that what Arlana said? She sent those two orcs out ahead of us.
I say
Oh,
we should
that's
loot
right.
the church.
Places.
I'm gonna
The cleric says from the back.
The religious one says, let's loot the religious building.
Guys, let's
I guess she
let's
knows
head
that they
into
have
town.
this shit.
If we're looting, I'd like to hit the market.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the market too.
You guys are
There's gonna be some good stuff in there.
Before you guys loot, we don't even know if anyone else is here.
I mean, we can do it stealthy.
Are those
You
drag
might
marks
be able
fresh
Let's
or
just
old?
cut the pie.
They look.
There we go, breaching here every house.
They with that 19, they look relatively fresh. Sometime in the last maybe 24 hours.
Okay, should I tell these guys?
Our boys went through here.
So going off what Thamir said, those blood drag marks look kind of fresh. If you guys really do want to loot a fucking church, really.
I'm gonna text you.
Wait,
The high and mighty one over here.
I'm game. We can loot. I'm just saying we might not be alone here.
So let's all do it stealthy.
Well,
Back
I'm not
in the
doing that.
Vikings era, all they did was loot churches because there's
What's
a lot
that?
of gold there.
What's a Viking?
Wait,
It's like Vikings.
I want to cast a spell. Pass without trace.
You cast Pass Without Trace.
If
Everyone
we're
gets a
gonna-
plus 10 on
if we're
their
gonna be looting-
stealth rolls. You kind of just wave your hands around. The rest of you just feel quieter. Yeah.
Okay, so as king, I'm going to send my two compadres to one go left, one go right, and go as far as 30 feet. I can see. I have night. Is it dark?
No, it's early morning.
Okay.
Sun's rising, so there's clouds in the sky, so it's somewhat still dark. It's casting shadows every which way, but yeah, you can all see fine.
Okay. So you go down at least 3 houses, and you go also down 3 houses. If you don't see anything, if you don't see any more blood, you come right back. Understand?
Yeah, you just want us to walk out that way?
Walk out that way and scout.
And just look around.
Just look around. Anything, point it out, like you're looking around.
Oh, yeah, okay. Belenor, go that way, I'll go east. So Garrick is going to head this way. He's going to go the backside of the houses, using the trees to his advantage.
A couple minutes pass, both of them return to you.
There's a lot more blood. Some of the windows in the back of the houses are busted open. I looked inside of a couple, and Belenor's like, yeah, I looked inside too. It's eerie. It's weird. This place is way too quiet. Whoever had said that we should not stay here long was probably right.
What that was mean?
So, do you guys still want to loot the church?
Yeah.
I did not say church.
Where is the church?
Is there a church?
There is now. So both of you are aware that there is a fort just outside of town, like a stronghold that they would go to in times of siege. From where you were standing, you would get a pretty good line of sight. So out ahead of you, you see like the corner of this building. There's a little bit of a parapet up in the air.
Is there a street sign anywhere?
Just one that says "Welcome to the Crossroads," and then actually underneath it there are various signs pointing to different roads. So like this one says like roundabout to the Sunstone Academy. This one says this is the roundabout to Durnthorum, and then the route going straight ahead just says like deeper into town, like into the Crossroads.
All right. If you really want to get out of here, if we go straight down east and make a left, we could probably go to Vormir and get directly out of this crossroads. Unless you guys really want to stick around and figure out why there's so much blood here.
Okay.
I'll go forward first. Yeah.
Well, since you have a good line of sight, I have a find traps spell that I can use, and if we don't find any, then what do you say?
I mean, yeah, I don't want to die. I'm a king.
Yeah.
Kings can't die out
You want to
here.
do that?
I'd
It's
like to know where
120
there are
feet.
traps.
You can cast it. Make sure to mark off that spell slot on
Yeah.
your sheet. There are no traps within 120 feet.
I am actually going to cast Fairy Fire also. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is outlined if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
Are you casting it directly ahead of you?
Yes.
There is no reaction. It doesn't illuminate. Nothing happens.
Okay.
You remember from a previous trip that there is a church somewhere near the town square.
Okay.
I'm gonna head to the market.
Okay.
Does somebody want to be my backup?
I'm getting out of here.
Are you guys
Wow, guys.
splitting
All
up?
right, so if I get the money, I'm not going to be splitting it with you guys.
I'll go to the church with you.
Okay, thanks, Kazrick.
Are you going with Jeff?
Jeff, what do you want to do? You want to go with us to the church?
not be here.
The quicker we get the church looted for
Why do you guys
the
wanna
quicker
loot a
we can
church?
get out of here.
Why do you
I don't
want
want
a
to loot a
church
church, but she's really adamant.
I'm not
so-
gonna question Nova. Anything you want to do, you're a lot smarter than I am. So,
Thanks.
are you guys all going to the church together, or are you all splitting up?
Wait, where-
I'm not
Split the party. It works. It works every
Where's
time.
the church? Is it the one with the X?
So the church is with the X.
Because
Okay.
everyone knows when you split up.
So, are you guys want to take the road in, or do you want to cut through, like, around these houses? These are, like, essentially yards with trees and things in them. These are, like, lots to houses.
I'm
I
going
would.
straight.
I would like to.
You're going this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sneak in between houses and things.
I'll
And
see
you're
the
with-
Taz.
And the guards are going to go with you,
Yes.
obviously. Where are you going?
The market. I'll
Okay.
go right by the church, though. I'll stay close by.
Okay. All of you, except for Cypher, are heading toward the church. Cypher, you're kind of following the main road up toward where Vormir would be. Like following this way around the main market and then out that direction.
Okay, so I'm still with them right now? Like, I'm still with, like, walking?
You guys are about to split up.
I'm gonna meet you at the crossroads where it says,
The whole town's called the crossroads.
okay, I'm gonna meet me the left side of a fort. You're gonna see a big fort. You see that fort, meet me on the left, down that road, we go straight to Vormir. If you guys are gonna
Okay.
be doing your looting stuff.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, so with that, you guys split up. I want everyone to roll me stealth.
Plus
Stealth
10.
plus 10.
20.
Oh, shit. Nat 20 plus
Okay.
10 plus 8.
You stealth so well, you actually leave the campaign.
22.
29.
14.
38.
Damn.
Who was with you? Everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay, so you starting, like going off to the left, you start to make a little bit of noise where you're stepping on top of the snow, but there are leaves underneath, and you start to crunch on the leaves, and Matixia just comes up behind you and like puts her hand on you, and she's like, shut the fuck up. But you guys feel silent enough. I want everyone except for Cypher to also roll me a perception check.
You're all gonna die.
Jesus Christ, what is with me and
God damn!
10.
10.
Matixia, I want you to roll me with advantage because you're stealthing so well. You're kind of jumping from tree to tree. You were spending less time on being stealthy because you're just so good at it naturally that you're able to pick up on things better.
What can I
Focusing
say?
more.
Ooh.
26.
Oh, it's still 10.
Jesus. Okay. Nova, going toward the center of town, you guys notice a large well in the very, very center. It's there on the map.
Well.
And it's buttressed on all four corners by these exquisite wood-carved statues. And there is faint steam rising up from the well, as if like the water in it is warmer than the air around. And you hear, only you, no one else, you hear a faint noise coming from the bottom of that well.
Well, fuck. I tell everybody because I'm not chaotic. And I definitely say that to everybody. So, guys, I just heard a noise coming from the well.
What did it sound like?
Like Jeff.
I need to do better with my voices, apparently.
Well, Jeff's right here, so...
Meanwhile, Cypher, as you
Yeah, make a noise.
are traveling back across these stables, on the back side, Garrick taps you on the shoulder. I just noticed movement inside of the stables. There's someone in there.
Yeah.
Right now, everyone else, you guys are right at the edge.
Can I roll a perception to see what stores are in the market?
Yeah, roll investigation.
10.
Can't really tell from this angle. It looks like there's at least 3, maybe 4 of them. One of them looks like it has the blacksmith anvil. But you can't tell what the rest are.
I'm gonna tell Garrett and what's his name? Belmar? Bellinor.
Garrett.
You don't even know your own guards'
I'm
names.
calling Comandre. Garrick, where did you see this movement?
First stable to the left.
Let's enter the stables and see what's going on.
From where you guys are situated, it looks like the backside of the stables are the wood is dry rotted enough. If you guys wanted to break through from the back, you could do that. If not, there is a half wooden wall on the stables from the side that you guys had just come from. So if you wanted to jump that wall, you could, or you could attempt to break through the wall in the back, or go the long way around.
I have stealth. I'm gonna go stealth. Okay, Garrick, you're gonna be... No, I like Garrick more. Belmar.
Sure, that's my name.
You know what? I'm just gonna call you Bell. How about that?
That's whatever you want, Your Highness.
Okay,
You're the king, man.
Bell, I want you to stand in front of the stables. Garrick, you're going in with me.
In front of the stables? Like around the other side of the building?
You're gonna protect us, yes. And if you see anyone, say flamingo. If you see anyone that's not our squad, say flamingo. Understood?
Yes,
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Majesty, definitely. You guys go off to the side. Bellinor runs out ahead of you to the point where he is now standing right here, because he's at the front of the stables, and that's the front side. So you guys are about to breach there. I want you to roll me an acrobatics check as you're jumping the side of this to get to the other side. The rest of you, what are y'all doing?
I would like to check out the well.
Yeah.
So you guys are all walking across to where the well is?
Yep.
Kind of in an open area, scanning around as you're walking. You see, you
360
hear.
awareness, guys.
You don't notice anything.
Can I do another investigation to see what's around?
Sure.
14.
And you see the church on the opposite side. The way that it's designed and like the cathedral type roof, you can tell it from what it is. On the market, getting a little bit closer, you realize that the one was definitely a blacksmith. The second one looks like it was a general store, and the third looks like it was some kind of jeweler. The front door is broken open. The other 2 doors are closed. That door is completely shattered.
Which one for the jeweler?
The jeweler, yeah. And on your left-hand side, you see a handful of stalls, but it looks like from where you're standing that most of them are empty.
So this is already looted.
Only the jeweler looks like.
It looks like there was a turnover in this building recently. Like it's being renovated or something. So as you guys are walking up to the well and you're all getting a little bit closer, you can now hear the voice that Nova had heard before. Hello? Is anybody there?
Can we look inside the well?
Can I
Yeah.
peek in?
Yeah.
See if I see anything?
You guys look down, roughly 25 feet down, you see a small human face, a girl looking up at you. Hello?
What are you doing down there?
Some things came. Some creatures. Can I come up? Oh, I'm so cold. And like you can see where she's shaking. Her voice
Yeah, we
looks.
have rope.
Her face looks a little bit blue.
I have a 50-foot rope, so I'm going to toss it down and tell her to grab on.
So you throw that down. She grabs a hold of it. Cypher.
7.
7. So you start to get over this half wall, and like you're struggling to like throw your leg up over, and Garrick comes behind you and just like pushes on your butt just enough to get you over, and then he jumps over after you.
Thank you.
Yes, he successfully jumps over after you, and you guys jump to the other side, and as soon as you do, you notice, kind of huddled in the corner in the hay, his back facing you is a single man.
Hey, let me see your hands.
How do you know he's not
Oh
married?
my god.
Let me see your hands.
What in tarnation?
What incarnation?
This is Lane. I know who you are. You're not one of them. Oh, thank God. Did you see him? Did you kill him?
I need you to relax.
He like looks over at Garrick, and Bellinor's kind of standing in the front, so he kind of gets a little bit over, like looking at to see what's happening, and like he just looks over at all of you, like just terror in his eyes.
You need to relax. We're not here to hurt you. But I need you to explain what's going on.
We got attacked, bought some things and some stuff, some I don't know, shadow creatures, I guess.
Where's your buddy?
Logan.
Yeah.
I don't know. They came in, and we were waiting at the bar for you guys, and they came in. They broke the door down, and I just ran. I'm a coward, I know, but they were so scary. I don't know what happened to them.
All right, you can come out, bud.
Yeah, okay. We're leaving, right?
Let me get my squad, and we can head out now. You remember my squad, right? You remember the dragon face guy?
Yeah. I haven't met these two. It's like every time I meet you guys, there's more members of your party.
So these are my guards. I'm a king, so I'm here to help.
Are you lying? You pull my leg?
I'm not pulling your leg, Lance. But I want to pull you out this
Insight check. He rolled a natural 2. He cannot tell if you were pulling his leg.
Let's get out of here.
All right, I'm not gonna press that no further.
We're still heading to Vormir. Do you know where that's at?
Yeah, I know what Vormir is. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah. Let me just find my squad.
They killed everybody.
Everybody.
I think. I don't know. I heard screaming, and then I just heard, well, like this. I heard silence.
Hey, Belle. Go look for the squad. They went to church. It should probably be in the center. If you like if you go up this stable road and
I'll find it. And he just runs.
Wait.
Takes off.
Wait. Can you hear me?
Roll for loudness. No. Yes, he hears you.
Tell them we found Lane.
Yes, Your Majesty. I'll tell them.
Thank
I'll
you.
tell them good. And he runs off.
Thank you, Belle.
So he sprints off. The rest of you guys, you are pulling up this little girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
How far are we away from the church?
The church is right across from the market from you guys. We're going to say for the sake of this, maybe like 120 feet.
Okay.
So you guys pull this girl up. And she's wearing like a long sleeve shirt, like a little bit of a sweater, but like nothing nearly prepared for this kind of cold. And as you're pulling up, you're seeing like she's having a hard time grasping onto the rope that you had offered her, to the point where she'd actually tied it around her waist to assist her. And she comes up and she's just, you seen my mom and dad?
Oh shit. No. We have not.
Are you good people or bad people?
We're
I'm not even there.
Depends on the context.
I'm gonna try to like
Right now,
comfort her.
We're good. We're here for you.
So yeah, we're good
Nova's
people.
good.
So,
We're good people.
is it possible for me to like breathe a little fire, or like use like breathe a little heat without actually using my fire?
Light her on fire.
Yeah, on her.
I want to try like I want to
Fire
warm
warm
her
her
up without lighting her on fire or making a huge bonfire.
What do you want to do exactly? Explain this. So you want to fire breath in her direction? On her, like to warm her enough, just enough to catch her on fire, just enough to warm her.
Like create heat.
It'd be like a brief warmth and then back to coldness. It wouldn't take it. Yeah, it wouldn't last very long.
You're a big guy. Just hug her.
I'm just gonna kind of like. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Matixia, watching this happen with this little girl, you are reminded of yourself. You, in some way, you see yourself in this girl. You realize that her outcome is probably not going to be much better than yours, judging by the circumstances.
God.
And with your dream the night prior and just dwelling on this, you just think, fuck, this girl's fucked. This is like a future Matixia one day.
Oh God.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on her to try and
Okay.
Heal
and
her.
so It looks like, as you guys continue pulling her out of this well and she finally finds footing on solid ground, she has some cuts and scrapes and bruises on her. It looks like she had just jumped down this well, colliding with the stone walls a couple times on her way down before ultimately ending in the water. But those gashes and bruises fade away and seal up, and she just kind of looks up at you. Thank you.
Does her color kind of like return? Or?
It does. She's still very, very cold. Coldness is more of a condition in this case.
Can I take off one of my garbs and give them to her?
Sure. So you drape that around her shoulders. Thank you.
Dixie, I'll kill her.
Yeah, I'll just kill her.
I would.
Why would
You can kill her.
I guess get
not
rid
gonna
of the
kill her.
misery.
It was so scary.
So what happened? Tell us what happened.
I was home. It was bedtime. I was sleeping, and I heard some fighting in my parents' room, and I was scared. So I ran out and I watched them get dragged through the window, but their bodies were in weird shapes. They were bent weird, and then they were gone. And then I saw this shadow look at me through the window, and my parents told me if anything ever happens, I should go to the well. And so that's where I went. And then there was all this fighting, and then I jumped, and then you guys came. But,
How long ago was the fighting?
maybe an hour ago. There were monsters, but as I was running, I saw scary men too. They looked mean.
Did the men have anything to identify them?
Sometimes just weapons. Sometimes they were just holding just dead people, and that's how I knew they were mean. And then I thought one of them must have seen me, so I jumped.
What were they wearing?
It was dark when I saw them, but all black maybe. I couldn't see their faces.
Did they have any sort of like medallions or any insignia that you could see?
I don't know, but there was a couple of them.
Alright, well, we should get her out of the cold into a building or something. Why don't we move this somewhere?
What's that? And she points out across the courtyard toward the direction of the fort. And from where you guys are standing now, previously that parapet was in your way when you were looking down that road. But now that you're standing in the center, you guys can see in that direction a very thin plume of smoke rising into the sky, coming from where you guys are thinking, like the center of where that fort is.
Let's go to the fort.
Where's Belle?
Flank.
Has it come back to you?
Yeah, I think we should find what's his name. Cypher.
King.
He told you to meet you at the road to Vormir,
What's his name? The kid.
Yeah.
which is on the way to the fort.
Yeah, let's
Where you
do
guys are.
that.
Yeah, let's go meet up with him.
So I
Okay.
take it this means we're not going to loot the church? Jeff
No,
says.
Jeff.
It's too risky
I
at
was-
this point.
More-
I know,
There's
but
an active threat.
I thought that it was a bad idea at first, but the more I think about it, I'm like, I kind of want to rob a church.
Yes.
As long as it's not a church to Balcazar, which I don't think this one
I
is.
think our safety is more important.
Yeah, next time, Jeff. We'll
Next
let you
time.
rob a church later.
We're going to loot the church.
There will be more churches.
Okay, so you guys all heading toward the fort then?
I guess.
Okay, look out in the direction that you sent Bellinor. You see your group now walking this way.
Uh-huh.
And they're just walking right in front of you. They look like they're in a hurry.
Hey!
He yells.
Why the
It carries across the...
Little rascals! What are you doing?
And this is after he already yelled. He already yelled to Belinar, like as he was all
Yeah.
he did.
Be quiet, y'all!
fucking guy.
Lane says in a harsh whisper, and Garrett kind of nudges him to the side. Don't talk to him like that.
Okay, so all three of us run to the squad.
You run, and then the two of them run behind you. And Lane's like, I was wondering when I'd see y'all again.
Wait,
Howdy, Lane.
Wait, Lane.
where's Belle?
Where's Logan?
I don't care about Logan. Where's Belle?
Garrett just
But where's
said,
Logan?
Where's
Garrett
Belle?
just said,
What do you mean,
"Load
where's
up on the
Belle?
Snickers,
Belle was
did
with
you?"
you.
Where's Logan?
I sent Belle to go look for you guys, to tell you guys that we found Lane.
Well, he didn't find us. Where'd you send him?
I told him to go up this road and make a left because you guys were in that direction of the church.
Well, I think he told him to check out the church.
We didn't go to the church. We ended up finding this girl in the well.
Oh,
in
hi, little
Southern
girl.
town.
He's a good guy or a bad guy?
He's with us. So
You know.
I'm a king. It's okay. What's your name? You have any ID on you?
Matixia, roll me a perception check.
I'm Abigail.
Abigail.
My parents call me Abby.
Oh.
18.
After he asks that, you notice only Matixia. You notice as her eyes scan the newcomers that she lingers for a moment on Lane, and her eyes grow wide for half a second, and then like she kind of turns her head, and that's it.
Can I whisper to her?
Yeah.
Do you recognize him?
I think he was there. I saw him running across the courtyard. He doesn't live in this town, but I don't know. I don't know.
Did you see anything else?
Just him running.
From something?
Well, it was while I was running to the well, so I didn't see a whole lot, but he had his weapon drawn, and there was blood on it.
Was he with someone else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Garrick, you and I are gonna go look for Bell because he's in trouble. He didn't do his job.
well, I think from this point on in this town, we should probably stick together.
Wait.
There might be something bad here.
Taz, where the hell did you find this little girl?
In the well in the center of town.
Little Abby, why the hell were you in a well?
I was hiding from the monsters and the scary men.
Lane, is that what you're talking about? The shadow people?
Oh wait.
Yep.
Yeah, they were a bunch of scary, like monster-looking creatures, like will-o-wisp kind of things. Like I could see through them a little bit.
Is that what you saw, Abby?
Yeah, I mean, like, they were mean looking.
How old are you? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm 8.
You're 8.
I guess we should check the church for Bell.
You guys want to go back to church and check for Bell?
The church?
You wanted to go loot the church, okay?
Okay.
Well, we're gonna
let's
loot
go.
while we're there.
Let's go look for Bell.
So,
Shouldn't
okay,
we be
so we have been in this specific area for a long time. So just to see if anybody has been following us, I want to cast a glyph of warding spell so that if a person touches it or moves it or walks across it, then it'll create some damage on them and we'll know.
You're casting it right while you're standing?
Yes.
That's a good spot, actually.
Yeah, right. Okay. Are you warning everyone else? I'm hoping. You cast it and then immediately Thamir walks over top and explodes.
Yes. It is.
The little girl walks over and fucking explodes.
I can choose for it to be explosive runes, ice damage, fire damage, acid damage, or lightning damage and acid damage. So I think I'm gonna do acid.
Okay, cool. So you set that, and the rest of you guys are heading in?
Yeah.
On the way to church. Onward.
Okay, the church is somewhat close to where you guys are. Walking up to it, you notice on the front, it doesn't seem to have any distinguishable gods, any symbols of any specific gods on the front. And actually, Cypher, roll me another history check. You're going to learn a little bit of lore here, potentially. Never mind. As you reach the front of the church, you see, approaching from the angle that you guys are approaching on, along the side here are windows, but they are shuttered closed. And when you reach the front of the church, which seems to be the only discernible entrance, there are 2 closed windows outside of the door, also with closed shutters, and the door is partially opened with footsteps in the snow leading inside that are fresh.
Those might be Bell's footprints.
Well, let's hope.
Wait. Let me go in first with stealth. 9 plus 17.
You peer around the entrance and you see where there are these old wood cracked pews leading up to the front. There are, and you guys, the rest of you notice it as well as you get closer to the door, drag marks and blood that leads out of the front of the church. And the footprints are on top of that. And as you go inside, you see where this blood trail continues, now no longer on snow, just on like wooden floorboards, down the center aisle between the pews. And up in the front, you just see like a big thing of blood near like where the altar would be. And in the blood, kind of sporadic, you see these footprints continuing on to where this blood stain is. You don't see anything else in the room.
So that footprints are moving?
The footprints are new. They look like they're Belenor's footprints. They're leading up to where this big blood stain is on the floor, but the blood stain is older.
Mentixia, while they investigate this, do you want to go into the Pope's chamber?
Yes.
There's a Pope.
What the fuck's a Pope?
The Master Cleric's chamber.
Yes, let's go there.
Well, so that would be in the back, though. We'd have to walk all the way through. Is that what you guys want to do? We're all going in?
Jeff, you can stay here and investigate while me.
No. I'm not staying out here by myself. You kidding me?
You're not by yourself. You're with Cypher and Tazric.
Cypher's already inside.
Yeah.
Thomir and Tazaric, are you guys going inside too? I thought everyone was going in.
I'm going inside.
I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all going to go in. So the rest of you follow in behind Cypher, seeing essentially the same thing that he did. The room appears to be empty.
I'm gonna follow the footprints.
Okay.
Wait, I'm with Garrick, right? He's behind. He's on my ass.
Garrick is right there behind you, as is everybody else coming in behind you. Are you guys also all following up this center aisle, or are you kind of spreading out a little bit?
I'm going to spread out to the right.
I'll go left.
So, did we go to the Master
Button
Cleric's
hook.
chamber?
So you guys are walking in from behind. There is a room to the right of where the altar is, like a single room that would be like where the chambers are for whoever had run this place. Imagine one of the places where they conduct services in an airport. It's mostly tailored to travelers because that's most of the people who come through this area. They offer smaller services, that kind of thing. It's a fairly decently sized church, but nothing crazy. You guys go up and through. Since you had entered in first, you go up. You see older, drier, frozen blood more toward the center where the altar is, but directly in front of it, you see very fresh, unfrozen blood.
Bellamere.
No, I'm not yelling.
I am.
Okay, he's yelling.
Bellamere.
I'm gonna
Not
follow.
yelling, but
I'm gonna follow those footprints.
Bellanor, and you hear nothing. No response. What are you doing?
Following those footprints.
The footprints lead just to where this second blood splatter is, and then they don't go anywhere else.
I'm gonna look up.
There's a hole in the ceiling. As you guys are checking that out, Matixia Nova, you guys go into where the cleric's chambers are. It's modestly decorated. It seems like everyone in this town is pretty wealthy, except for the cleric. But you do see a handful of things in there. Largely just very expensive looking goblets and kind of like ritualistic looking things that they would have with them over the course of conducting any kind of religious ceremonies or whatever that they held in here. You find some religious texts, some extra clothing and things that are in a cupboard on the far side, and you also find a donation box off to the right-hand side.
Look inside the donation box.
Okay.
That.
On the front side is a lock, almost kind of like a archaic padlock looking thing.
Well, we'll break it.
Go ahead, roll me. So that you have thieves' tools. I want you to roll me a d20, add your dexterity bonus, and then add your proficiency bonus, which would either be 2 or 3. So this is a thieves' tools check. First time it's been used this game. You notice, Cypher, looking up, that there's very fresh blood on one of the edges of this hole in the ceiling. And as you're looking, you notice 1 or 2 droplets fall onto the floor in front of you.
Okay, I think Can I do a perception?
You can do an investigation. What are you looking for specifically? Okay.
It's 12 total.
Takes you a minute or so, but eventually you're able to crack that thing open. You don't break any of your tools. And inside you are going to find 127 gold, the equivalent of 127 gold pieces. It's in silver and copper, mostly smaller denominations, but yeah, 127
Nice.
gold pieces. No, but what are you looking for?
I'm looking for jewelry.
Okay. Roll me an investigation. So the things I had pointed out before is kind of what you saw at first glance. We'll see if Nova finds anything else looking around.
Guys, I think we should get out now.
That's what I've been saying.
Whoever is hurting these people, because I'm pretty sure Belle is dead,
Somebody watching the outside.
is still here. We need to get out.
Okay, let's go.
Yep,
Yep,
I like
let's
that
go.
idea.
What did you roll?
16.
You do find some necklaces. Actually, surprisingly enough, so there is, I mentioned like there's kind of like a wardrobe or whatever. You kind of rifle through some of the pockets in the changes of the cleric's clothes, and you find in one of them a pocket full of exquisite diamonds. It's weird because why it would be in this pocket, you have no idea, but we're going to say you find a total of 3 of these diamonds, each of them worth 200 gold pieces. And you also find a sapphire and ruby amulet in another pocket, probably worth 75 to 100 gold.
Okay, thank you.
And as you are pocketing all of that, you feel your glyph outside being triggered, and the rest of you hear, "Pah! Sss, ah!" Just someone screaming from
Alright, let's all
outside.
run towards it.
Okay, so you guys are all running outside?
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay. You guys all follow this noise outside, and Who's the first one out?
I'll go out first. Why not?
Perception check.
18.
You notice the back half of a humanoid figure, solid,
Oh my fucking.
darting around the back end of the stables. And you can see where there is steam rising off of him, where this acid trap is burning through him. From what you see, he is wearing all black. So it's not the guard.
It's not
Oh,
Bellinor.
I'm gonna start chasing.
I'm going to chase after Taz.
Okay. How much damage did that
Stop.
5d8.
do? 5d8. Roll for damage.
12. 16.
Okay.
One more.
2.
Okay,
Jesus
that's fine.
Christ.
So you guys are shouting, you're running out after him, everyone else is coming out of the church, and as you round this corner, the first thing that catches your eye, Tazarek, because you're leading this, you don't see him, although you will in a moment. You actually notice the body of the fallen elven soldier laying on the ground against the wall of the stable with hooks sticking out of his back.
This guy?
Yes,
Oh.
Bellinor, with these long hooks hooked into his
let me
back
grab it.
and chains that are just resting on top of him.
Yeah.
Like it looks like he had run into this church and something had grabbed him with these chains and then hoisted him up. Yeah, they're like
God.
meat hooks
That's
that he had been
awful.
hoisted up through the ceiling of this building.
That's
And it doesn't look like he's breathing. But the second thing that catches your attention is this dark figure. So he had run back behind these stables. He had made it just to where the threshold is for this bridge that goes across into the fort. And then he had collapsed because the lower half of his body is now disintegrating from the acid. Not completely through, but enough where his clothing is being worn away. And you can see a little bit of bone and like muscle sinew on his legs. He's not making any noise at this point. He's just looking back at you, his eyes bloodshot, snarling. The rest of you, hot on Tazarek's heels, see essentially the same thing.
He's in front of me. I was gonna use Hunter Mark.
You can use Hunter's Mark.
I want to kill this motherfucker. But I know everyone wants to ask him questions.
Tazarek, what are you doing? You're the first one there.
I'm gonna ask him who he is and who he works for. Or something.
Before you get to that, before anyone even reaches him, Tazarek, because you're the first one there, you see his hand quickly go into his robes as he sees all of you approaching.
I'm gonna trap his hand.
Contested dexterity checks. We're going to see if he moves faster than you do.
12.
He does not move faster than you do. So as his hand comes out and you notice this vial of this sickly green in his hand, he pops the cork off and he's about to down it. And you catch his hand and you are now grabbing a hold of his hand, muscles taut, with like he wants to drink this potion. Fuck you.
Can I rip it out of his hand?
Sure. You just do that.
I just toss it to the side.
Toss to the side, it shatters on the ground, and its green liquor-like substance is absorbed by the snow.
Who are you?
I'm not telling you shit.
I'm gonna grab onto his leg that's all seared and gross and ask him again.
I think that's one of the ones that killed Logan.
Wait.
What?
But Lane said he didn't know what happened to Logan.
He pulls his weapon out. I want to kill him.
Not yet. We need answers first.
You killed Bell!
What is that? That stupid fucking guard.
Motherfucker. I'm gonna wail on him. Wail.
Do it. Unarmed strike, roll with advantage because he is prone.
You better not kill him with this.
9.
You wail down on him, but you're kind of like, you brute, you monster. I hate you. And he just, you were all so pathetic.
Yeah, my turn. That's a 20.
Yes, you hit him.
5 damage.
5 damage. And he's starting to laugh. He's laughing at you. Are you punching, or do you just want to? Do you want to do something else to him?
I'm
Or
just
do the same amount of damage?
right across the face.
Okay, so he's like kind of turned to the side to block your hits, and he's like looking through his arms, laughing at you, and then you from the side just punch him in the side of the temple, and he's just like, fuck! Amidst all of this, Matixia, you feel a small hand grab a hold of your own, and Abigail kind of looks up to you. I'm scared.
Me of all people. It's gonna be okay. Kid.
Her name is Abby.
I'm not gonna ask you again. Who are you?
Why'd you do it?
You can ask as many times as you fucking want to. I can tell
What's
you
the
shit.
ground made of?
You only see snow. He's laying on snow and ice. But although directly ahead there is a wooden bridge that stretches across this very somewhat narrow gap of water, like a moat, that is also frozen over at this point.
I would like to, while he's laying there, position disadvantage because he doesn't have legs anymore. I want to search him for any sort of like identifiers or anything that I might find.
Cool. Roll for an investigation.
7.
Searching through his person, you find surprisingly very little. It looks like he purposely travels light. You do find a single dagger that seems to have some kind of liquid on its blade.
Interesting. I'm gonna toss it to who would know the most about weapons.
It's going to be largely contextual. Matixia probably would be the best
I'm a
with
sage.
this kind of weapon. Based on the way that he's dressed, Tazaruk, you get the impression that this guy, he's like a roguish type.
Okay.
So
I'm gonna toss the blade to Matixia and say, "Do you recognize this from anywhere?"
Matixia, roll me a acrobatics check just for the heck of it.
He's gonna hit you in the forehead. Oh!
What'd you roll?
4.
Okay, so if you rolled a natural 1, you would have gotten cut by this blade.
Definitely thrown it.
Yeah, you literally just threw, and like not really a whole lot of warning, just hey. And you were already kind of distracted where you were holding this little girl's hand. You are able to put your hand up in time to kind of deflect this weapon away, but like you try to catch it, but like it's kind of embarrassing because you can't, and it just falls to the snow, and then you just like kind of pick it up, so like looking cool. And just looking at it, you recognize this blade as something that some kind of assassin would carry.
Looks like this guy was an assassin.
Can I ask him a question?
Are you asking Jeff?
No. The assassin. Are you alone?
I'm gonna dig my hand into his, bloodied leg and say, "Answer him."
Are you alone? Guys, you might not be alone.
Guys, we need to route.
Can I kill him now?
I mean, ask the dude if he knows Ling.
Have you seen this guy before? Gestures at Lane.
Yeah, I think I saw that coward running when we first came to this village.
Oh, he said we.
When I first came to the village.
Nice save. Did you see what happened to his friend?
Yeah, we saw what happened.
What happened?
He kind of nods back at the fort behind him, where you guys can now, as you're closer to it, see more of this smoke rising into the sky.
Why don't you go and see for yourself?
Alright, we should just kill him and head into the fort.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Oh yeah.
Do you want me to
Go
make
for
it
it.
suffer?
We don't have time for this shit.
I can make it suffer without taking time on our part.
Do you want to make him suffer? And he kind of stares down at the sky. Maybe.
Okay, I'm
Cut
going to
his dick
use
off.
shape water twice.
Oh.
First one, I'm going. First one, I'm going to form ice bonds around his arms so he can't move. The second one, I'm going to animate, I guess, the snow and ice around me
Okay.
to slowly move up his arms and into his lungs.
Damn.
Drown the motherfucker on land.
Yeah. It takes you a couple minutes. You've never done anything like this before, but you feel creative in moments like these. And your country boy companion is holding his blade out. I just want to kill him. I just want to... And then he stops as he, like, watches the water, like, slowly rise up. And this person, whatever this guy is, just starts to... As the water travels down his lungs, he's trying to spit some of it out, but can't because more water is being thrown into his nose and his mouth. A couple moments pass as his lungs begin to fill up with it because he has no other option, and his eyes just go lifeless. And Lane just looks back at you. Fuck. As that's happening, Matixia, you feel this small hand tightly to the point where it almost would cut off circulation if it was stronger on your fingers. And as this girl is just terrified, you look down at her and she's just wide-eyed watching this guy just drown in front of her.
Yeah, she's
This-
fucked.
Can Garrett and Derek, go to Belmore's body? He can't die here.
It looks like it might be too late for that.
I'm saying we can't leave his body here. Let's take him to Vormir and bury him there.
Man, we do
You
not
wanna-
have time for this.
You want us to carry?
We don't. We still don't know where the smoke is. That's coming from.
Garrett, not we.
No, we do not have time for this. We can bury him in the snow.
We don't have time for that either.
his name.
Okay, so let's think about our old professor's Quote, win. What is important now?
What instructor did you have?
All right, guys, we need to stop dicking around. Let's go to the fort.
Abigail looks up at you, Matixia. What's a dick?
Since I'm a cleric,
I think it's that time you give her the dog.
It's a nickname for detectives. Anyway,
since I'm a cleric, I do a ritual to send somebody to the heavens after they pass away.
I was going to do that.
You can conduct a short service for
Yeah.
him if you want to. Is that something that you want to do now?
Yeah.
I thought you said we don't have time.
We don't have time to travel
this guy. What, are we gonna have a reception?
Hey,
after
so-
finger sandwiches and tea.
No,
So
wait.
you guys are kind of out in the open right now. You are right around this area. Off to your left and your right is largely open, and there is the wall of this fort in front of you where the smoke is still rising into the sky from behind it.
I mean, like Catholics do, you know, when they see something scary and they just.
So you do that. You also go up to him. His eyes are still open. You close those and offer like a short prayer for
I
him.
do too.
And Garrick is just silent, stoic behind all of this and just kind of looking at him. I think we should move on. He would want the rest of us to be safe, especially you.
He's the lucky one anyway.
What are you guys doing now?
We're going to the fort.
You guys want to go to the fort?
Yeah, I'm
You gotta
investing
figure
in
out this
that.
fire, see if her parents are still alive.
That's smoke.
This guy just said that they took Logan into the fort.
Yeah, you
We
can still
owe
be
it to
alive.
him.
You think maybe?
We owe it to him to figure it out.
And where you guys are taking a moment as Nova, Cypher, and the other elf are looking over this body, the rest of you guys notice where the drag marks seem to be converging down this path. To your left and to your right, you see more drag marks going to the bridges on the other sides, but the majority of it is going across where the bridge that you guys are on into the fort.
This doesn't seem
Blood and
safe.
drag marks.
Yeah. Hey guys, is there a more stealthy alternative route so that potential guards, don't see us coming from a mile away?
We're right in front of the place.
I think maybe they would have seen us by now. We've been standing out here for a while.
Try to flank. I don't know.
I don't think we
Enough
should do
people
it.
to take the fort.
Logan's probably dead.
Don't say that. He's my best good friend.
I just lost a soldier.
You just met him like 2 days ago.
Let's go inside.
I'm entering.
I'm not.
Garrick's staying with you. You guys staying on that side of the bridge?
Yeah.
Everyone else goes on his way across. Lane kind of turns back to you guys. Y'all not coming? We could probably use you.
Okay, we're coming.
Thank God.
Good. We're gonna need all the hands we can get for
Oh
this.
my god, we're gonna die here.
Okay.
No, King is never scared.
So as you guys enter into the fort,
He's
Yeah.
got another map.
you off to your right hand side are targets where they would do target practice. Off to your left is what used to be like a garden, but all that is frozen over now. But the first thing that kind of strikes out at you isn't even the sight; it's the smell of burning flesh. And as you guys enter into this fort, getting a better view of the smoldering pile of corpses in front of you, all of you collectively realize that these bodies are carefully placed in the shape of a hand.
It's a burning hand.
Oh,
Ritual.
bodies.
It's like when they say the name of the movie.
Yeah.
So we're looking for the burned body organization.
The cult.
Abigail tugs strongly on your hand because she's still holding your hand. I don't like this. What do I do? I don't want to be here.
She can't be here.
I think my mom and dad are in there.
I can't. Why not?
She can't be here. Because of that monster.
Are you going to say something?
I don't know anything.
Well, we don't know if it's the burning hand, do we?
This is, by
It's
the way,
not
this is
exactly
that we're all
subtle.
keeping from her now.
No, she doesn't know. We all know.
The whole group knows except for Nova because she wasn't there when all of that was revealed.
Sleep less, man.
Abigail is still tugging on your hand. I don't want to be here. I can't look at this.
Look, we gotta stay with the group.
It's pretty obvious.
It's safer.
obvious. We know it's a burning hand.
I'm going to need a marching order. You and Garrick are in the rear.
Insane issue.
Taz and I are both
Honestly,
in
we
front.
probably would have gone
Yeah,
first.
I'll stay back as much as I can. Cause I'm with the little girl.
Lane will be in front of me though, because he asked me the question. Remember?
Right.
Yep. I want Matixia, you're distracted because this girl is pulling on your hand.
Nothing distracts me.
Cypher, you're actually the last one in. I want you to roll me a perception check. Let's see if you roll higher than a 12, because that's a difficulty class to beat. No pressure. 15. You hear a faint crunch of snow from the top of the wall. You turn toward that crunch and see a man in all black. He has a crossbow trained in on you.
On me?
That crossbow bolt leaves your direction and misses. So that was goofy.
I can imagine that being your actual reaction.
So had you not noticed that he would have been using his assassinate feat on you, which would have given him advantage, and any hit that would have hit you would have been an automatic crit. But because you saw him, you were able to not get fucked.
It's an ambush! It's an ambush! They know we're here!
Nova, you feel a sharp pain dig into your back. You turn just in time to see Lane looking at you. 10 points of piercing damage. We're gonna fulfill that contract now.
I told you we couldn't be here!
I want everybody to roll me initiative.
Oh my god! Abigail was trying to tell you.
Just kind of weird that he didn't bonk her instead.
Tactical bonk. 20 to 25.
I got a 19.
That's not a 20.
15 to 20.
19.
10 to 15. Oh, fuck, guys. 5 to 10.
I rolled a 9.
I rolled a 5.
6.
Oh, God. Just to kind of give you guys a setup here, you are all right at this entrance. There was one at the wall behind you, there was one at the wall to your right, and one on the back wall. And there's two on the ground. The two on the ground are those shadow creatures that you guys had faced on the way here, and one of the ones up on the wall is also one of the shadow creatures. The one to your right, the one directly across on you, his crossbow trained in, is another one of the assassins. So 2 assassins, 3 of the cloud creatures, and then 1 Lane. Since we already did the initiative, it's going to be Assassin 1, which is this guy right here. Rolls a 19, plus 3 to hit. He's shooting his crossbow bolts at Thamir. You were one of the ones right up in the front. I want you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
18.
Similar to the feeling that you had when you were in Thane's Stand, there is that brief throbbing pain in addition to the bolt that hits you as poison attempts to course its way through your body. But with your sturdy Goliath constitution, you're able to keep it at bay. You do, however, take 18 points of piercing damage as it pierces through your chest hide on the armor. And the creature off on this side is going to be coming at you as well, because it's on that side. Mm-hmm. And it just locks with you. And the other creature who is there also is coming up on you, although he would have advantage. Still nothing. They are right up on you, though.
They're right on top.
They are right on top of you. It's your turn.
Fuck them up.
I'm going
You're
to use
after him.
Thunderclap.
What, saving throws?
Dexterity 14.
1 fails, 1 succeeds.
The one that failed gets 1d6 thunder damage. And it was 6 points.
We're going to say he's taken off like half a step, kind of backs up a little bit. And you can kind of see like somewhat through this creature because it's semi-translucent. Nova, it's your turn.
So I am going to blind/deafen Lane.
Natural 20.
Oof.
What?
Natural 20.
It's rigged.
Fucking look at it.
Yeah.
Drink.
I've actually rolled 3 natural 20s so far. 2 of them rolled natural 20s on the initiative. I'm rolling really well on this dice today, guys. So
Yes, 14.
be concerned.
Jack,
How about
dice.
how about you take this dice?
His eyes very briefly glaze over, and then he kind of shakes it aside, blinks a couple times, and then stares back at you, fire burning in his eyes now. Oh, you're gonna get it.
Yeah. I'm moving offline.
Where are you moving to? He's gonna get an opportunity attack on you. Move out of his range.
5 feet to the left. So he doesn't get an opportunity attack on me.
Okay, so you just move off to the left a little bit, which now kind of opens up where Tazaruk, you now have clear shot on Lane now, because Nova had moved.
So Garrick is in front of me, right?
Garrick is next to you. You and Garrick are taking up the rear.
Okay, so in
Because
front of
you
me
were the
would-
last 2
In front of
in.
me would be Lane, correct?
Directly ahead of you is Lane. Jeff says this loudly enough for Thamir to hear, but nobody else. Actually, Matixia, you hear this too because you're right behind him. He reaches toward his pack and then looks around. I can't let them get a gauntlet. And he just starts running back the way that you guys had entered.
That
Amazing.
idiot.
And only Emily and I heard this.
Only Emily and Thamir.
Jeff, come back. No.
Taz,
No.
go after Jeff.
Ah, god damn it. Can I take off after Jeff or do I have to wait?
You will for your turn, which is coming up in a little bit. That was Jeff's turn. He's just taken off full sprint. He's pushing past you guys, but as he is running, Lane is going to take a swing at him because he's passing Lane's. Fuck. And he hits him. He like rakes across his side with his blade and cuts deeply into his arm and his side. And you guys see, those who were close enough see Jeff kind of wince a little bit and tuck into himself, but then he just continues running. And it cuts a little bit of the cloak that is wrapped around the gauntlet as well. And he's just taken off. It's Garrick's turn, who is next to Cypher. So he's going to kind of push a little bit in between you, Cypher, and Matixia. Yeah, and then he's going to take a swing at Lane. He rolls a 19. Very nice.
Oh, my boy.
It's more like bludgeoning damage. He has his sword, and he brings it down, and like it hits him where this armor on Lane's shoulder is, but you see Lane kind of wince a little bit. He's going to take 12 points of damage. Matixia, it's your turn. Abigail is still clutched. Her hand's still clutched tightly on yours.
Alright, well, I'm gonna look overhand.
No!
Sorry, I gotta do this. Just stay back. I'm gonna hit Lane.
Roll with advantage, technically, because he is currently flanked, and you are a rogue, and there are allies within 5 feet of him.
That's 14.
14 does not hit. He's able to parry that one away. Was that both hits? Both you tried
No,
attacking
it's just
twice?
one.
You can go ahead and roll for that one. Same deal, it's with
Are
advantage.
you gonna rage?
Are you kidding me? You saw that.
It's with advantage. You can roll again.
Are you kidding me?
What the fuck are you rolling?
It like goes to 20 and then it...
She rolled 4 times and all of them were too low.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, so you are swinging at him again and again. It's two-handed, and he is blocking each one of them. Are you doing anything else with your turn? You can still disengage. You can still back up.
With the little girl behind me, just get away from everyone as far as I can.
So you're going to back up. Any of these people, or any of these two with crossbows, do not have a good shot on you.
Okay.
How far away from me is Jeff?
He took off. Movement speed is 30. He is bolting. It was difficult terrain through here. We're going to say about 40 feet back on the other side of the bridge. Kind of back toward where the stables are.
So I could.
We need more people in the fight, so bring him back. Don't just fucking leave.
Yeah, I'm gonna run, catch up to Jeff, and grab him. And I'm gonna say, we need you in this fight. You're not leaving. And push him back towards the
If they
fight.
take the gauntlet, then we're all going to die.
They won't take the gauntlet, I promise. Jeff, you're
needs to be kept
probably the
safe.
most powerful out of all of us. If anyone's gonna protect it, it's you.
Have you seen Thamir?
Yeah,
He exploded that guy
yeah.
like a week ago.
You could explode him with the snap of a finger.
That's not true. I'm not that strong. Why does everyone think I'm that strong?
You've shown that you're that strong. You just need to think about it and believe in it.
I don't
Now
want to take
get
this
back
thing
in that
toward. I don't
fight.
want to take this thing toward them. What am I doing with it?
Give it to me. I can keep it and fight.
Give it back when it's
I will.
over.
After this fight, I will give it back.
Here. He throws it into your stomach. But I'm not going to be happy about it. He doesn't have any movement speed, so he's still. You guys are still on the other side of that bridge.
Okay.
With speaking, that probably would have been your action and bonus action.
Okay.
Cypher.
Hunter's Mark. It's been casted.
On who? Lane.
Lane, yeah, he's right in front of me.
Okay.
I'm using my scimitar on my right hand. I'm using the short sword on my left.
He rolls a 6 and a 2.
Lane is a squirrely motherfucker.
Why you was just fighting her?
He was. He's fast.
Oh my god.
This guy was trained by something.
He hasn't touched me, actually.
Yeah, but he's blocked all of your attacks, and he's blocked all of your attacks.
I'll move 6 feet to my rear.
So you're just backing up. He's going to get an opportunity attack on you. Back.
Alright, just hit me.
Nothing.
Oh.
He takes a swing at you. A blur of metal on metal, and
I parry it. Just say I parry it. I make it sound badass.
you parry it.
Oh, thank you.
The creature on top of the wall, the one on your guys' right-handed side, seems to grow more translucent, and it coasts off the wall, somewhat floating through the air before settling on the ground right here. That's going to be the entirety of its movement speed, but Thamir, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
22.
Very briefly, you get this splitting headache, and then as quickly as it comes, it passes. And it seems to be originating from this creature that just came down from the wall. This guy, who is now turning his attention away from that side of the wall to the other side where you and Jeff are crossing, and he's going to take a shot at you, the larger of the two, and it just flies wide. One of the shadow creatures is still going after Thamir. Rolls a 19 to hit. Seems to manifest this blade out of one of its hands. It takes a swing at you, cutting across your side. You're going to take 12 points of slashing damage.
I'm going to use Stone's Endurance.
And the second creature hits you as well, also dealing 12 points of slashing damage.
So I reduce the damage by 12.
You take 12 points of damage, because you took 12 from the second. So they both swing at you, Stone's Endurance. You're able to take most of that, or all of that blow, and then the second one comes in, slashing at you as well. Thamir, it is your turn.
I'm going to use Thunder Wave this time instead of Thunderclap.
Okay.
They need a Constitution save of 14.
They both rolled a 14. 13 and 13 plus 1.
Yeah, they take half damage. So they take 6 damage.
Okay. Neither of them get blasted back. They seem to take it. It's like absorbed into their forms.
I am going to use the bonus actions. Flurry of Blows.
Spending a key point to do that?
Yeah,
Spend a
one key point.
So mark that and roll to hit.
12 and a 19.
The second one hits.
Alright, and I'm going to use Thunderclap with it. Or the,
Yes. Roll me a percentage die.
89.
That works. What was your damage on that? Saving throw.
Constitution of 14.
Only rolled a 5, so it's going to take full damage on that, and then whatever your unarmed strikes were.
24 plus 4, so 28 points of damage.
Nice.
And that expended one of my rings.
Its entire form shifts and breaks apart for a moment before returning back. It looks like it's hurting. Nova.
So I'm going to do a spiritual weapon attack, and I'm going to make a big icicle spear out of the ice
That's fucking cool.
at Lane. You guys gotta tell me what it is. Ooh, that was cool.
19.
19. That hits. Roll for damage.
4 plus 3, 7.
You conjure this out of the snow and ice near you, bring it into your hand, and then stab it right through him. Parts of it kind of melt around where the impact was as blood begins to run over it, and you just pull it out. He has a pretty large gash in his shoulder now, but it's his left shoulder, so it's not the one that he's using to attack you with. Back to Jeff. He's going to kind of offer one final look at Tazaruk and then come into the fray. Jeff runs up to the top of the bridge, just giving himself enough cover so the crossbowman on the top doesn't have a shot at him anymore. And you see his hands furrow and unfurl, and he moves them around, and this dark, wispy smoke that you guys have grown accustomed to seeing just begins to emanate from him. And then he looks out across the battlefields, and then it starts to fade away. And Tazaruk, he looks back at you, and he says, "There's no one else here. It's just us. It's us and them. There's no extras."
Good.
It's Garrick's turn. Garrick, again, is going to take a swing at Lane.
Kill him.
There's a ton of them up there. He's going to hit him. Again, he whacks him on the shoulder, digging deeper into where his last attack was. Lane just, ugh. And it's his turn now. Seeing that he is completely surrounded, essentially, he is going to disengage, because he can do that. And he is going to back up from where the fighting is to, with his movement speed, to right around where this smoldering pile of the bodies are, and he's going to put away his short sword and pull out a light crossbow. I had rolled for his attack. He takes a shot at you guys, but it just whizzes right between everybody. And Matixia.
Okay. Can I go over to him and hit him with my
Please.
axe?
Oh yeah, you can.
Okay.
All eyes on you.
Is that a natural one?
Am I still with advantage?
Not anymore, because he is disengaged from everybody, so he's not within 5 feet of an ally. So you run up to him with one blade, you take a swing at him, and he kind of turns his crossbow just enough for your blade to go in between, and then he turns it back, so now that hand, like that weapon is stuck, like in his crossbow. And you have another attack.
Oh.
Can I give you my dice?
I'm gonna
Use the
disengage now.
You should walk away 2 steps and then throw it.
So your weapon is currently trapped in his crossbow. Are you letting go of it to disengage, or do you want to wrestle it free? Because I'm going to have you roll for a contested strength.
I guess I'll wrestle.
Oh, God.
If anyone wants to lend her a different dice, you're more than welcome. You're unable to break free. You try to disengage, but you can't, because you can't get your weapon out of his crossbow.
Wait, let's just think. She got 1, 2, and 3 in that order. What the literal fuck is going on?
I haven't even gotten to use my new axe. I got it 4 games ago.
Tazaruk, it's your turn. I'm so sorry.
How big is the fort? How wide and how tall are the walls?
So it's a square fort, 200 meters by 200 meters, and it's roughly maybe, we're going to say 15 to 20 feet tall.
How close are the two creatures in front of me?
They're both within 5 feet.
How close am I to him and those two?
You are still essentially on the other side of the bridge. You can reach them in your turn. They're roughly 40 feet away.
Okay. So I could reach them and attack.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to run up next to him. The two are right in front of me. And then I am going to... No one's behind them, right?
So running up, on your right-hand side is the one creature that had just come off the wall. So you now see him on the ground.
Okay.
And then on your left-hand side, Thamir is fighting with two of them, and Nova is behind him.
Okay. That's right. I want to get next to him.
And way up ahead, near where the smoldering bodies are, is Matixia.
Okay.
And Jeff is just standing right underneath the wall.
So if I'm next to him and the two are in front of me, there's nothing behind them, right? Except for the fort. There's none of my people behind them.
No.
Okay, good. That's all I need.
Everyone that you can see is everyone who is there.
I'm going to cast Burning Hands.
Ironically.
That's really funny.
Yeah. So as I hold the hands with thumbs touching and fingers spread, a thin sheet of flame shoots forth from my outstretched fingertips. Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw.
That will include Thamir,
Is he...
because he's fighting with the two creatures. Is that the ones you're talking about?
Yeah, I was trying to get it so that I'm next to him so that he won't have to, because I don't want to hit him with it.
Imagine he is like here. He's fighting two creatures that are like here, and you're coming up.
So I can't really... okay.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
just Dogger, take the
You think
hit.
you can pass a 12?
On a what?
Dexterity?
Dexterity? Yeah.
Alright, we're going to do it. 12 they have to pass.
One of them does, one of them doesn't.
I rolled a 16.
So he's going to take damage anyway. Sorry. 11. So the one that failed takes 11. The one that passed takes... Was that 5?
6.
6?
5.5, so rounding up.
Okay, round up. So
Okay.
I am sorry, but you take 6 damage.
That's fine.
I forgot.
The one that was badly damaged from before just evaporates and just dissipates into the air around it. The stairwell, which is a wooden stairwell, to the rear of these creatures begins to... flame begins to take to it. At the top of that stairwell is... Along the stone wall is where the crossbowman is. But he now will have a harder time getting down from that position. Cypher.
All right, how far am I from Lane?
He's way out ahead of you now.
Okay.
He's fighting with Matixia
Near where
Oh,
the
yeah,
bodies
you're right.
are.
You are closer to the wall. You're kind of near where Jeff is.
Okay, so is there still people up top on the wall?
Yes.
Okay, I take my crossbow out.
Okay. There's one directly across from you, and there's one that you can't see
Okay,
because he's on the wall above you.
I have Hunter's Mark. Remember that.
Hunter's Mark on Lane, although as a bonus action, you can transfer it from one person to another.
Transfer it to the person on top.
You can do that. That's your
Okay.
bonus action.
All right, and I'm gonna fire my bow.
Go ahead.
Please.
17.
Taking that.
Okay. You hit him. Roll for damage.
Okay.
And add a 1d6.
7 plus 3.
10 damage?
10 damage. You aren't quite sure where it makes contact with, but you do hear like a ugh, and he kind of ducks down behind that section of the wall for half a second before coming back up. And Lane, fighting with you, Matixia, is, as his bonus action, going to drop his crossbow, pull out his short sword, take a swing at you. First one's a 2, but he gets multi-attack. 15 on the second. Does that hit
My
you?
armor class is 13.
Okay, so that does hit, and you are going to take just 6 points of slashing damage. Or, I'm
Can
sorry,
I-
piercing damage.
Can I uncanny dodge that?
You can, so that's half, right?
Yeah.
What did I say, 6?
Yeah.
So you just take 3 points. But I want you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
It's gonna be 15.
15 was the number to beat. Okay. You feel this poison begin coursing through where this light attack is against your side, but you're able to push it aside and continue in the fight. Okay, so the one on the opposite wall, Cypher, the one who you had just hit, is going to take a shot back at you, rolling a 17. Actually, 17 plus 3, so 20. You take 8 points of piercing damage.
What the fuck? You got.
And again, roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Let's not even speak about that. I got hit.
You take an additional 12 points of poison damage. Thamir, the creature attacking you, rolls a 16.
That hits.
16, you were going to take 12 points of slashing damage again as it continues its assault on you. And it's your turn.
Alright, well, I am going to cast Cure Wounds on myself. So I heal myself for 17 points. And then I am going to use another Fury Fury of Blows.
You have 2 key points?
I have 2
So this is
key
your
points.
second of 2?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead. Roll to hit, roll twice.
8 and a 17.
The second one hits.
So I'm going to use my second ring with it then.
Roll for your percentage die. Yep.
98.
Okay, that works. You hit him again. He succeeds, but he'll take half damage.
4 points.
Another 4 points. And
Plus
what was
the
4 and 4?
Yeah, 4.
Okay, so he takes an additional 8 points. Nova, it's your turn.
So I'm going to do a 4th level spiritual weapon.
4.
Who are you going after right now?
Novel.
So, so Lane he's currently fighting with her.
So
now.
yeah, let me move towards him then.
With spiritual weapon, the range of that is 60 feet. It's actually a floating weapon. You can choose to wield it if you wanted to, but it's like it works on its own. So you could cast that pretty much all the way out to him, and you don't have to move at all. But it's not going to. You would roll too low for it to actually hit him, and it's actually good for a minute. So it will continue to attack on subsequent turns. So is there anything that you want to do as your action?
I want to give him an unarmed strike.
Okay, so you're just running up to him then. Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
13.
Roll as normal. You
Plus
do.
3.
That hits.
5.
5 point. Is that really what your unarmed strike does? Is 5?
That's better than
Motherfucker,
mine.
you're stronger than
Strike.
Thamir. So you just run up and just punch him in the face as he's fighting with Matixia. And the crossbowman from the wall that you guys had passed coming in is going to take a shot at you, Nova, from behind. 15 to hit. 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And roll me a Constitution saving throw.
12.
19 points of poison damage on that one as you get hit with this thing. So it's 8 plus 19. He's just going to reload, stay up in the position that he's in. Jeff points at one of the creatures, the one off to the right, who is still approaching the rest of the group, just points at him and says, "Run." And the creature stops for a second, glares back at him, and then continues moving. It was a 15 DC, and it rolled a 15. And Jeff's like, fuck, and is starting to back up now.
Where was that angry Jeff that tried to kill Matixia?
For real, if they would only say something about Balcazar, this fight would have been over.
Garrick is actually going to run after the creature that Jeff was just trying to cast
don't
that
run.
on. So he comes in, he rolled an 18, he just stabs this creature clean through, and his blade seems to pass through it, but it still seems to sustain damage.
Gonna try to hit it again. That's 17.
That hits.
She finally did it.
Alright, I'll roll for the second one while I'm at it. 14. Which
14
would be
plus
19.
They both hit. He's fighting like he's on PCP, like when him and I were fighting.
8. Ooh.
Ooh, there
that?
you go.
That's gonna be 18. 8 and 18.
Did she say twice?
Motherfucker, how do you want to do this? What the fuck? You didn't hit him at all, and then you hit him all at once. He had 23 HP remaining. You did 8 and then 18.
Kill
That
that.
takes him beyond.
Yo, do it how you want.
I'll slice his head off.
You actually take his head off with the first swing, and then with the second swing, you come back around and just go into like his neck hole. Still, because he's a crazy fucker, his hand still remains grasped on his short swords for a couple seconds after he dies, before finally he drops them and falls over.
I'm surprised he didn't deliver any knees.
Oh, fucking A.
Iron knees.
He was supposed to do a yeehaw. That never materialized, and I'm really upset.
You really missed that opportunity.
I know.
You have to say the tagline, you yeet your last hog.
I'll go back to stay with the little girl back where she is.
She's nowhere to be seen.
Oh really? She ran off?
She was left kind of in the doorway when all this had started. You guys all moved in,
Yeah.
and in the chaos, you can't immediately find her.
She dies all your fault.
Tazric.
I'm just gonna use my giant slayer hand axe to attack the creature that's right in front of us. 10. And then with my second attack, I'll swing the vicious hand axe. God damn it. I got her shitty
Yeah,
rolls
that's
now.
you roll like Emily now.
Okay. Yeah, this creature, it doesn't even seem to be attempting to parry you anymore. It's just moving with like this semi-corporeal form. And the creature who is fighting with Garrick, it's just Garrick and this creature right now. They're just locked in combat. You kind of see blows traded back and forth, but nothing substantial. Cypher.
Okay, can I take cover anywhere?
Yeah.
I'm by the bridge, aren't I?
You're still by this entrance. You already have cover from the guy who's up on top. If you position yourself a little bit to what would be your left, like kind of along the wall almost, you would no longer have a view of the other guy across the way.
Is the other guy in cover, or is he like...
He is kind of crouched down now. He is considered half covered. So he's going to have a +2 to his armor class.
You know what, can I take my chances then? Fuck it. What do I have to lose? I'm going to take my bow and arrow, aim at the guy up there. Is he peeking out?
Yeah, he's peeking out. You got a shot at him.
Alright, I'm going to go center mass his head. With a bow. 19.
Oh, that hits. You don't even have to add anything to it. It's going to hit.
Oh, I hit him in the head.
15 AC +2 with cover.
And Hunter's Mark, don't forget it.
Yeah.
So 12.
12 points of damage total. Your arrow kind of hits him at such an angle. It hits him kind of in the left part of the eye, and then it comes out kind of near the temple. He's blinded on this side, but he's a right side shooter. Right side dominance. He ducks down even more now, mostly covered.
Do I have a bonus action?
You do? Yeah.
I'm going to run behind Latixia.
I'm your cover.
Yup, you are.
As you're doing that and running across, the other guy who is on the other wall, so he's taking a shot at you because your back is facing him. 13?
Why would he hit me if he has 7 other people in front of him?
You were the only one that's proven to be a range attacker.
Oh, he just...
Okay.
Everyone else is down here with swords and
He's
shit.
smart. I have a ranged attack too, though, so he's about to
same.
find
Yeah, my roll is 15.
So the creature that's fighting with you guys doesn't do shit. Thumir. Yep.
Alright, guys, I gotta go.
Are you kicking us out?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can stay here if you want. That's better.
If it's cool with them.
I'll be here.
If that's cool with you, I feel bad because now our host is
Now
gone.
we're really intruding.
I'll be your new
It's like
better than her.
if we play as her character. That's like the equivalent of us going to your house and then you leaving and then us playing with your parents.
That would be really
Which
awesome.
would be really good too.
So where we at?
We're pretty close to the end. If you want to play Nova, that'd be awesome.
Next game she comes back missing an arm.
Yeah, that'd be so
Half
funny.
blind.
You're after him, so just read through.
Have you ever played D&D before?
No, he has no idea what he's doing. That's awesome. Read through these cool spells. You can just click
Should have never
one
sat down.
and see what it does. There's a couple like cure wounds and things in there. You can do whatever you want.
Is her name Nova Scotia?
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
What the fuck?
The creature that was targeting me is now targeting Jack, right? Because he's the last one
It
that
is.
fought it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Its attention is kind of split between the two of you guys.
I am going to focus on the archer that's on top of the wall, the far wall.
Farthest from you? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to cast lightning bolt.
Motherfucker. Okay. Is that a dexterity or do you roll a hit on that?
It's dexterity 14.
I am giving him an additional +2 on this because he is 3/4 down on the wall. He's mostly covered.
Oh, okay.
16. He rolled a natural 16 +3. It would have been a 19 anyway. That's without the +2.
So he still takes half damage.
Okay. Roll for damage.
I think it's a little funny that we can't get Tirza to play with us,
A single
even at her
dude.
own house.
18
Okay,
damage.
all right.
He wasn't
18
all bad on
damage.
me.
Is that
Yeah.
is that half?
Yeah, that's
You hit him dead on as his body slumps to the other side of the wall. You can no longer see it, but you can see steam and smoke rising from the other side.
And then I'm going to take a bonus action to take one of my health potions.
Yeah, 1d6 +4. So,
Is it my turn
it's
now?
your turn.
Could I take a less predictable route?
You can do whatever you want, man.
So I see this spell called Create or Destroy Water.
Okay.
Could I create water underneath someone's feet and make them slip on down the stairs?
Totally not what I thought that was going. But I love
You're as
it.
creative as I am.
You can try.
Or make the person that's fighting over here, the bad guy over here,
Slip.
slip, so whoever's fighting can get a good hit in.
Yeah, I'm going to allow that. Yeah. Which one do you want to focus on?
Is this guy ranged?
He is. He has a crossbow out.
I'm gonna create water underneath his feet and try to get him to slip down the stairs.
10 gallons of clean water. I'm going to have this guy roll either acrobatics or dexterity. We'll do dexterity. It's essentially the same thing for him. So if I roll higher than a 13, then he makes it. But if not, this fucker's falling down the stairs. These stairs are currently on fire, by the way.
That's gonna be good.
6 plus 3 and 9.
Oh.
Jesus fucking Christ. 10 gallons of water just poof, appear out of nowhere from behind him, creating like a miniature tsunami almost. And this guy who was not expecting it whatsoever, because his back is facing that side of the wall, he's looking down on everybody, just feels 10 gallons of water push against him, which is just enough to push him down the flaming stair. The water is following him down, like kind of putting out, like extinguishing some of the fire, but he's just down the stairs, and just this look of like, what the fuck just happened on his face. He falls right in front of you two who are currently locked with the other creature. It's going to take 4 points of damage total. That was actually a pretty good turn.
Is Trevor playing? Yeah.
He is, yeah.
Tears are left. They roped me in.
We're almost finished though.
Like left the house?
Yeah.
What?
She's like, I have to go home at 8. We're like, but you lived here. Jeff's just gonna watch at this point. It looks like you guys have most of this covered. He is gonna walk up closer to where Garrick is fighting this thing, and he's just watching.
Yeah,
Help
there's
yourself.
like
Garrick is still locked with this creature. They're trading attacks back and forth. Both of them look pretty weakened at this point. And Matixia, you're right in between. These two are fighting off to your right, and Garrick is fighting off to your left.
And then there's that one guy at the bottom of the stairs who just.
Oh yeah, he's
fell down.
still laying down. He's prone.
Okay. So I'm gonna pull out my handcuffs. Alright, I guess, am I in melee range with everyone?
You could be if you move to them.
Okay.
You could go around those guys to the bottom of the stairs and go after the guy who's currently down. If you want
Alright,
to.
I'll go after him. I'm going for the neck.
You can roll.
Where's my dice?
Roll to attack. Roll with advantage because he's prone.
That's 15. That's 20. 14. And 13. Does 14 hit?
14 does not.
Okay, then one of my attacks hit.
Okay.
Okay, so that's gonna be 14. 14
Okay.
damage.
We're gonna say for the sake of this, he's still struggling to get up, and before he gets the opportunity to, you just whack him several times to the point where he's no longer moving underneath your axe. Simultaneously, as your axe is digging through flesh and bone, the two creatures that Thamir and Tazaruk are engaged with, along with the one that Garrick is engaged with, dissipate, evaporate into the air.
I'm gonna, I guess, disengage.
Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah, and then you can back up maybe a foot or two. You use most of your movement speed to get around those guys to get to where he was.
Chimichanga? Are you recording it?
And it's Chimichanga? I'm just gonna edit it so you say that like 400 times. Like anytime things are happening.
Kill the creature. Chimichanga. This guy falls down the stairs. Chimichanga, chimichanga, chimichanga.
It's just you.
Dude that fell down the stairs.
He's completely still.
wait,
Her axe is still in his back. We're out of combat. You guys can do anything at your own pace now.
Okay, I pick up Garrick and say I can't lose another one.
Oh, that's cute.
I have a heart, guys. Unlike you, who lost a girl with Tixia, you had one job.
I had to fight.
The girl's missing.
The girl's
the girl's missing. Nova, the girl's missing.
What?
I love it.
The girl from the well. The one that you had given your cloak to. It looks like she took your cloak. She took your cloak with it.
All right, let's go back into the village and find the girl.
Wait.
Very on character.
Can we not do that for a second?
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
I cast kill everybody.
No, forgot.
No, I think we can suck more information out of this person, whoever this is.
Wait, what?
What is it? I was just looking at it.
This is better Nova than Nova is.
Okay, so there's a thing called Zone of Truth.
Mm-hmm. Where are you casting it?
I guess wherever this person is that is talking to me.
Oh, you're casting it at Jeff?
Casting it on Jeff.
Oh, wait.
So this is just like some guy. He's like,
wait, who are we talking to?
this is Jeff.
He's
Courtesy of Frank.
He seems like a sketchy dude.
He's a part of our team.
He's a part of the group. And there's a guy who is still on the ground who was one of the few humans that you guys were fighting. He is not moving at all. He has an axe currently in his back.
This would have been good to use when we had that guy in the acid.
Yes.
Damn it, where were you, Trevor?
Use the only truth.
So who was the one talking to me about the girl?
That was Jeff. That was one of your companions. He just turned. He was kind of in this combat as well, and he just looked around and noticed, oh shit, this girl's missing, and then just kind of looked at you because you had previously given this girl your cloak because she was cold, and now the girl and your cloak are both missing.
Well, I'm gonna cast Zone of Truth, I guess, on the dude that accident attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you cast it on him as well as everyone who was standing in the immediate vicinity. Matixia, Thomir, Tazaruk, were you standing there?
No.
You were not.
No.
The rest of you guys are now, you feel just suddenly honest and open. And you want to talk about your feelings.
Now I have no idea what to ask, but I assume you guys do. So
Do you guys like me? So
Sorry.
there is another spell in there that may have the potential to bring back people who were recently killed.
oh yes, there is. I probably should have done that one first.
So now he revives that person, and everyone around him has to be honest.
What happened? You died and we brought you back.
Revivify.
Revivify, okay.
Revivify.
So earlier in the day, you had collected some diamonds out of the pocket of like a cleric's uniform in one of the churches that you had the idea of looting. You wanted to loot a church. You came into this deserted village and were immediately like,
I sound like a shitty human being.
I want to loot a church. So you did, and over the course of that, you found some diamonds. One of those diamonds is required as a component for that spell. It destroys the diamond in the process, but it will bring back someone who was killed within the last couple of minutes. So the rest of you, all feeling incredibly honest with one another, except for Cypher, are just watching as Nova kneels next to the fallen body of this assassin clad in all black. You pull your axe out of its back. There's a little bit of like a spurt of blood and things that comes out of this gaping hole in its back. But Nova like goes down to her knees, putting both of her hands on his black cloak, and kind of whispers some words to herself. And after a moment or so, this man begins to stir.
I am going to use Shape Water and freeze him to the ground. So he can't go anywhere.
Are you freezing him? He's still laying on his stomach.
Well, I'm going to freeze his like arms and
Sure.
legs.
Into a position of disadvantage.
Yes, exactly. Airplane.
Okay.
Wait, if I run up to them, is the spell going to be on me?
Until the spell ends, anyone that enters the spell's area.
So it is a sound effect. It's not.
So you didn't know that it was cast. You walked right into it. So now you also feel incredibly honest. Garrett comes up behind you doing the same thing, and this is now kind of a crowded area, and Jeff just stands on the outside watching all of this.
By the way, what
Is Jeff
started
in
the
the zone
fight
or out of
was
the zone?
Lane turning around and stabbing you and saying that it's time to fulfill the contract.
Who's Lane?
The guy
Lane.
who's dead?
Yeah, he's dead now,
them guys,
but he
I'm
was...
just imagining you took like damage to your head and just forgot everything that happened.
He was traveling with us, and then he basically like turned on Nova and attacked her, and that started this whole fight that you walked in
I
on.
see.
So,
But he said
So-
it's time to fulfill this contract.
So with this spell, you cannot utter a deliberate lie. It doesn't have to be an exact truth, but you have to be as truthful as possible. And meanwhile, this guy's just on the ground.
Can I go up and loot Lane?
You doing what?
I'm going to go up and loot Lane and the pile of bodies.
Go ahead and roll for investigation. Is anyone doing
you're
anything
going
else?
to loot the charred bodies.
Yes, I'm going to loot the charred bodies.
Okay,
Well, I want to go find the little girl.
roll
So
for investigation.
I got a 19.
18.
Cool. So you guys each turn around, and simultaneously you were looking toward the bodies in search of something to loot. You were looking around for the girl, but simultaneously your guys' eyes fall on her, and she is kneeled in front of this pile of burning corpses, just her hands rooting through now. A little bit like charcoal and ash on her hands. They look a little bit blistered from moving around in the fire, and she's just grasping onto something and just sobbing.
All right, I'm gonna go over and go get her.
I'm still going to loot Lane and the bodies.
I found my mom.
What's she holding?
Not fucking funny, Trevor.
His little girlfriend's been dead.
What is she holding?
Like a head.
Oh.
Charred. I mean, like it's burned up. There was a necklace around its neck, and you got the impression the only way she was able to identify this body was from that necklace.
Hashtag Batman origin story.
All right, let's get away from this pile. Do you want the necklace?
She's just crying. She's not.
All right, I'm gonna take the head off of her. I'm gonna pull off the head.
You know what?
Do your mom, stupid
You
kid.
just take the whole head. Here, tell me to remember her body. You didn't. I didn't know if you wanted the necklace, so I just took the whole head.
I think she thought that it was just the head, not the head still attached to the body.
The body is underneath other bodies, but the head is kind of sticking out.
Okay. All right.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you people?
Had, like a head
kinda
in
like-
her hands, like
Here you go.
she was like holding her mom's head. Okay, I'll just get her away from the pile. I'll take off the necklace so that she can keep it for her mom's memory and get her away from there. I'm gonna pat her on the back. There.
You people suck.
I mean, come on, I'm chaotic.
I
evil.
know. During that time, Thamir, you watch all of that happen, and looking around these bodies for something of worth, your eyes fall on the top half of Logan's body, kind of sticking out a little bit, where the bottom half of his body has been burned, but kind of the like breast line up is still unburned. That's how you are able to recognize him, and he has this deep blade mark that kind of runs like through his neck on one side and then high up on the neck on the other side. Yeah, he didn't make it. Besides that, I mean, there's a ton of bodies there. Some of their clothes are still intact. There are some rings on the fingers, some necklaces here and there. Some are more badly damaged than others.
I take the better of the items. I'm also searching Lane.
So looking over his body, you find the same contract that these guys, the one that you've seen already, the one that Cypher still has of Nova's picture, although you also find in his pocket additional contracts with all of your faces.
Oh,
The
shit.
amount of money on each of them varies from each of you. Nova's is still the largest by far, but the magic users among you to varying degrees are worth more. So actually, Matixia is like 10 gold, but like the rest of you are like several platinum, you know, hundreds of platinum, but like you're just like the lowest on what their contract. You're still
Why
on
did
their
they
hit
want
list.
to kill me?
Wait, what am
I was
I-
working with them.
What is my bounty?
What did I say Nova's was? Like 500 platinum. Yours would be like 250, maybe 300.
What about me? Because they don't know.
They have no idea. Yours is just about as low as
Okay,
hers.
I was gonna say.
They have no idea. I'm glad you
Wait,
picked up
are
on
you gonna
that.
discuss that?
I'm.
Not yet. You guys are all in the circle of
to be a
truth.
magic user.
Yeah.
Interesting that he found this just before going back to the Circle of Truth.
Yeah, Garrett.
I'm not in the circle of truth.
Garrett and I are leaving the fort.
You
I
guys just
think we
walking out.
should all leave.
So no one's gonna question the guy that
Yeah,
we just
he's
brought
just
back
like,
to life.
I still have no idea what to ask, so it's gonna be you guys.
Missed the opportunity. I guess.
Can I ask everyone what they think about me?
So everyone stands there, and then slowly people begin to trickle out, going their different ways, until eventually most of them have left the zone of truth. And then you ask your question, and the only person still left in it is the guy you pulled the axe out of. And he turns his head to you. I fucking hate all of you.
I still don't know what to ask this information.
Okay, wait. Can I come back to the circle back? I'm gonna ask the question now.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
I'm dying.
No. What are
No, you wait. Just make sure of that.
What is the Burning Hand doing in this crossroads?
We were sent here to kill the group who was traveling south.
Who hired you?
We never know who hires us. We just get contracts and we fulfill them.
Who sent Logan and Lane?
Logan, I don't know who that is.
Lane.
He kind of turns his head back toward where the body of Lane is. He's one of us.
Who hired him?
I don't the same people who hired me. I don't know.
Why do you guys do this?
Money's good. I mean, why does anybody do anything?
So he's the only person. Nova's the only person that can hear this, right?
Yeah, everyone else is gone.
Okay, everyone else is gone.
And Jeff. Jeff is standing behind you. He's just
Oh,
standing.
Garrett's next to me as well.
Yeah.
I don't like this Jeff guy.
I don't like it either. Where's your next mission? Where was your next mission?
We were told to go south after this.
South where?
We're staging for an attack. Us and others. We're moving into the forest. There's a elven kingdom that's there.
How many troops?
I don't know.
When is this attack supposed to happen?
I don't know. I think it's already happened. They just wanted us to come in to help clean things up.
Uh-oh.
You're an elf, this is important to you too. When was this
now all
attack
those people are
planned?
dead?
Possibly.
Oh, cool.
Maybe a couple days ago. Right when the snow started to fall.
Can I call the Jeff guy into the circle? I want to talk to him.
Yeah, Nova. I mean, like, I'm happy to do. You wait. Where do you want me?
Just right next to me in
Yeah. Okay.
Here.
He'll just stand right up next to you. What's up?
Wait, is he in the circle?
Wait,
Jeff?
not
Jeff's in the
Jeff.
circle.
Ask the guy. If they
Oh.
You still have your conversation
Okay.
with the dude. I want to talk to Jeff.
What
I
is
can
this
trust him.
gauntlet about?
Gauntlet.
What did you people want with it?
What gauntlet?
I guess he doesn't know. There's a circle of truth. He has to
I
say
know.
something.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know shit. He doesn't know.
Are you asking Jeff any questions?
Well, what do we know about Jeff already?
Asking about the gauntlet.
Jeff about the gauntlet?
Yes.
Jeff, what do you know about the gauntlet?
That's a weird question. Well, we all know. Like, it's the.
Yeah, but what do
gauntlet-
you know about the gauntlet?
Okay. I mean, yeah. So. Oh, I feel so open right now. I just feel so vulnerable next to you, Nova. I don't know. It's the gauntlet that our Lord and Savior, Balthazar Thane, had when he was fighting off the Frigid Doom. And it's the last thing that was left after the great battle between the two of them. And it's really powerful. And any minute now, Tazarek is going to give it back to me.
Really?
And it's just, we saw. I mean, you saw when Hannah tried to use it, freaking turned him into freaking husk.
Freaking.
It was crazy. It's like powerful and stuff.
Why should I trust you?
Well, we know each other like a long time, longer than everyone else. Remember, we were traveling.
Yeah, I don't give a
planes?
shit about how long we knew each other. Why should I trust you?
I don't understand what you're
This
saying.
Nova is way different than the other.
Why are you being so mean to me all of a sudden?
Hey,
known you
I'm
for,
the
like,
one asking the fucking questions here. Now tell me why I should trust you. Why are you avoiding the question?
Because I thought we were friends. I idolize you. I look up to you. You're like 200 some years old. I'm like 18.
Why do I have a bad feeling about you?
You have a bad feeling about me?
Do you forget that I'm asking the questions here?
So, Jeff's gonna do and he rolled a 15. You just cast a spell here. I feel you're just trying to get me to tell the truth. I've been nothing but honest, but if you want to take a step forward, then maybe we can have this conversation between the two of us on the same plane. Maybe you can be as honest with me as I am with you. I figured you cast it out from ahead of you, so like you'd have to take a step forward to enter into.
Sure, fuck it. I want to see what Nova has to hide.
I actually didn't have any questions. I just wanted to see if you would step forward, and that was nice of you to do that. But I don't know why you're being like this with me. We've known each other a long time. We've been through a lot together, and I just thought we were friends.
Sorry for the way I acted. Can you ask this dude more questions? Because I have no idea what's going on.
Can I ask the dude, do you know if the village south from here is called Vormir?
Vormir is like a week from here.
Can I
The
cut off
city.
this dude's arms and keep him as a pet?
Man, really
I mean, if you want. Almost a savage.
I think Nova is lawful good, which makes this so much better.
Damn, this kind of sucks.
Well, really, he's an outlaw.
Can
So
you just
Yeah,
not doing
can we
anything wrong.
leave Trevor?
please just kill me?
No, you're gonna die a suffocating death.
Hurt. Why are you all just staring at me? Put me out of my misery.
Should I drown him again?
Oh my god.
No, just kill me normal. Please. Don't do whatever you did to Phil.
All right, guys. Are you ready? Can we go? What's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
I've been ready, but I don't know. Nova started acting really weird.
Are you in a circle?
Is there a treasury in the fort?
Is she in the zone?
You can look around.
Make her in the
Auto
zone.
zone.
Put her in the zone.
No, I'm not in the zone.
Put her in the zone.
He can't put me in the zone.
Put her in the zone.
You can pick her up and carry her.
I think I'm bigger than him.
I think you are too.
But she doesn't know about the zone yet, does she?
She doesn't.
So just say like, yo,
Come over here.
Yeah.
You don't know. Honestly,
Guys.
Jeff's the only one who knows.
Guys, come on.
You guys ready?
I found the girl. Can we go?
Wait, this guy has something to say to you, Matixia. The guy on the floor. He's whispering. You have to come and talk to him.
No, let's go.
Where am I gonna go?
You're gonna say in the
Jeff,
crowd.
I'm sorry.
No, this isn't Jeff. This is the little girl. Okay, Jeff
Oh.
sounds like a little girl, but I can't. I don't have a. I can't make my voice sound that different.
I also don't trust the little girl.
Little girl, come into this. Why should I trust you?
She's 8, but okay.
What's the dirt?
I don't have a mom and dad anymore. I don't know where to go.
We're gonna go south. We have to.
Again, her hand finds yours and she just grabs hold really
Can we leave her
tightly.
with the dude with the accent's back and
Take care. It'll be like.
how do we each other company?
Nova says.
All right, guys. Stop dicking around. Let's go.
Alright, I'm ready to go.
You guys all going?
Sure.
But Garrett knows everything as well as she does, and so does Jeff. Does Jeff know that
No.
Ramirez probably been invaded?
Yeah, they had heard that.
Okay, so Garrett knows.
Garrick was right next to you. When
So he
said-
knows that Ramirez is getting
Yeah.
attacked.
Yeah. He's been mostly silent. He's been entirely silent.
Well, he's gonna say some shit right now.
I say we go to Vormir.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
What are you guys doing with the guy who's frozen to the ground?
I'm
Leave
leaving.
You're fucking leaving him there?
Yeah.
Say
I'm gonna-
unthaw him so he has at least a chance.
No!
I'm gonna freeze him over
See, that was-
slowly
that was a
so
little
that
more
most of his
Nova.
body is frozen in.
No, just let him die.
No,
That'll
but-
kill him.
What? No, like probably here down is frozen.
He's a human, and it's like below freezing right now.
Exactly.
He's
You
not
know-
gonna live very long.
Exactly.
let him
But
go.
it's gonna make him suffer.
Guys, can we go instead of plotting out how to kill this guy better? Come on. We
Okay.
have shit to do.
Okay. You guys all heading out then?
Leave him.
After I freeze him, yes.
Oh my god.
It
Okay.
takes me a second.
So with
Then do
that,
it.
Bam, it's done.
Okay, let's go.
So with that, you guys set out heading southward to Vormir. We're doing another time jump. That little girl has just been in your company the entire time. You had more than enough rations, and you had, I'm assuming, before you had left, taken the rations that were on Bellinor. Oh yeah, were you guys doing anything else with his body, or are you just leaving it like there?
Well, the 3 elves, including Nova, we just prayed over his body.
Okay. And then just
Left him there.
Okay. A week later, bruised and exhausted, you arrive at the outskirts of the Elven Woods, Numeria. The trees here are as large as small mountains, their expansive canopy flowing unbroken from treetop to treetop. Vormir, the Elven kingdom, lies somewhere inside the darkened woods, the thick snow along the canopy preventing little light from reaching the forest floor. The sight to an outsider is normally intimidating, but with the snow, it is downright terrifying. But outside of these woods, Thamir is an unexpected sight. A dozen or so tents sit, hastily erected. That's right, I said erected. The tents have been pitched, so to speak, on the cusp of these great trees. On the tan and stretched leather canvases are markings intimately familiar to you. Your eyes scan the faces of the large figures between you and your journey. They look beaten, dejected, emaciated. An unseen child cries from inside one of the tents, giving voice to the suffering these people have endured. Men missing limbs and women missing children look back at you, hopelessness mixed with a faint recognition in their eyes. The refugee camp grows silent as you guys approach, and before you're able to get a word out, Thamir, the voice of your father, weakened but proud, calls out to you. Thamir, my son. that's where we're going to leave it.
Chimichanga.
Whoa.
Chimichanga.